Hi everyone, and welcome to the My Message podcast. My name is Kyia Mochitani, and I'm your host for today's episode. Every episode, it'll be me right here. And on the My Message podcast today, we have a very special guest again, round a million, Mr. Jakey Eggs and Bakey.
I'm back.
You are back. Jake literally just landed on his from his flight, and I said, the minute you land, man, we are just going and filming an episode because your homie girl is going on a trip. I mean, by the time they hear this, it'll be after the trip, but I just have a lot of stuff to prepare for and stuff like that. So bless his heart, he was so in for it and up for it. I was a good girlfriend and got him in and out before to make him a happy man and not an angry Mr. Jake.
Now we're here filming.
Now we're here filming.
I'm full.
And you're full. And I'm full too. Okay, so today, what are we going to talk about, Jake? Tell me, enlighten me. I just need to know.
We're talking about making sacrifices in relationships and how it could sometimes go not as planned as it should. It could kind of just turn a little sour, and sometimes making sacrifices isn't the best thing to do.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about like how to make healthy sacrifices and like what negative sacrifices have looked like in our relationship. And you can take this even like in the sense of like with sacrifices within a friend or a family member. It doesn't really have to be like an intimate relationship. Also, I don't have a fun special drink. My fun special drink is Jake. So usually I have a fun special drink, and today I don't. You're my fun special drink. Anyway, totally besides the point. I'm going to talk about a story of where I felt like I sacrificed a lot and where it ended up. There's been a few times when Jake comes home from school to come visit me, which is so sweet and so kind. We just live like kind of like different lifestyles, and so I feel like you expect me sometimes to like go like adapt to your lifestyle in a little bit of the way, and like when I try and do my life kind of thing, you and bring you along with me, you kind of get annoyed and are like really frustrated, and so then I end up sacrificing, a lot of my days or a lot of my time, and then I end up just being like, I just have like a lot of resentment built up and like a lot of like annoyance, and like I don't know, I'm not the most patient person, and especially when I felt like I didn't get the most out of my day, there's I could work on my patience because there is none, and I'll admit it. But yeah, that's when I felt like I sacrificed a lot. What about you?
Well, I'm just sitting over here thinking that I can't shake my head and just agree with you because I'm just going to get memed on your Instagram page again. So I'm just sitting here just like want to nod and say yes, but I'm just like, don't do it.
That was funny.
Serious. That's what was just going through my head. No, but I feel like since I have like a similar thing, but since we live like two totally different lifestyles right now, you can shake your head. You're not going to meme yourself. Since we live totally different lifestyles, I hate waking up early. Just like in general, not even just because I'm a college kid. I just hate waking up early. I'm a night owl, not an early
bird
morning person. So when I would come home sometimes, Kai's like, all right, let's go. We're hitting the gym at 6 a.m. We're leaving at 5:45. And I'm like, I don't even know what that time on the clock looks like. I don't want to know. And then just the rest of the day, like I'm just cranky and angry. And the whole time I'm like getting up, I'm just complaining. And it just makes it unenjoyable for both of us.
Yeah.
So like making that sacrifice, like for what? It just is miserable. It's just terrible.
Like tomorrow I'm going to the gym at 6. And
I'm not going.
I'm waking up at like 5:20.
I'm waking up at, I don't know when, probably like 8.
But yeah, so I feel like we've had our fair shares. This is just in the most like kind of recent time, but we've both had our fair shares of like oh my goodness, I feel like I'm sacrificing so much for you, Jake, right now, and you are not even sacrificing a little for me. Or, oh my gosh, Jake, I'm sacrificing so much. When will you sacrifice for me? Like, we've done it.
Then you just start comparing. It's never going to compare
no,
either.
It's not. And
It's like a whole different thing, but still.
Right, 100%. So, 100%, there it is.
Nice one.
But yeah, so we both agree that in a relationship there are sacrifices to be made, right?
100. Yes. Yes, there is sacrifice to be made.
But we also agree that it gets to a point when you have to sacrifice, like, your non-negotiables.
Don't sacrifice your non-negotiables, you mean?
No, I'm saying, like, when we do sacrifice our non-negotiables, that's when it gets bad.
Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
It is 100%. 110%.
And so, what is a non-negotiable? A non-negotiable varies from person to person, but it's like, this is what I need to do within today. This is, like, I am doing this no matter what. I am so sorry. Like, non-negotiable, this needs to be done. And so, for example, my non-negotiable would be going to the gym in the morning. Like, I can't work out at 3:00 like Jake can work out. It's first thing in the morning. That's my non-negotiable. I'm working out. What's one of yours?
I like working out in the gym in the morning, just like 9.
It's just like afternoon at that point. Like, it's painful.
One of my non-negotiables is just like alone time, just like by myself, doing what I want to do. I have a hard time just like, if I don't have that, I'm just cranky, like very cranky, and just I'm not enjoyable to be around. So if I don't get that alone time, that's a non-negotiable for me for sure. Another
one of my non-negotiables would be like the type of food I put in my body. Like, I can't just go out and eat whatever. Like, I'm very picky about what I put into my body.
Another one would be for me, it's just like, not like sleeping, just not waking up at 6. Like, I don't like that.
But you've done it a few times for me, which is really sweet. So I wouldn't say that's a non-negotiable. Because you've done it.
I've done it, but it's not fun.
But that's like something that, like...
Yeah, okay. What's another one? Alone time. Like some sort of movement, like exercise. Like, if I don't get exercise, then I just feel really lazy.
Yeah. And then mine would either be like work in some way, shape, or form.
That's
whether
for sure.
That be on a Bible study, whether that be on my podcast, whether that be like actual work. I have to be like doing something. I can't just sit around like Jake. I shouldn't say like Jake all the time, but I can't just sit around and watch binge a series of Survivor. Like, I just can't do that. Like, physically, mentally, it's just not. Oh, I can't do it. That takes a special bone in your body, and I'm happy for you for having that. I don't. Kudos to you, though.
To each his own.
To each his own. Exactly. There's no judgment. Anyway, so those are like a few of our non-negotiables, and granted, some do vary like day to day. And so when Jake's home now, we're really practicing like, you do you, I do me. Even when in long distance, right?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like especially in long distance, if you're not getting those things done that you want to do, then it's like, just makes the whole, like, the experience already tough enough. Just would make it even harder.
100%. Stop laughing at me when I say that, mister.
Well, you started laughing at me first. So.
Anyway, but what I'm trying to say is, like, what I mean by you do you, I do me, it's like Jake and I used to try and base our days around each other of, oh, but you don't have this here. Okay, then I'll make time here. But it's like, at the end of the day, that just like ran us into the ground. We just are at the point where it's like, you get all of your stuff done at your own pace. We talk when we talk. You do you, I do me. I'm going to do all my stuff. I'm going to get it all done. I'm going to fulfill me, whatever. And then we'll convene, and then we'll be present, because then I'll feel like I've done everything. Then I feel like, okay, now is my time for you. And like, I have that special time, like, aside, Yeah,
you can actually enjoy your time. You're not just like stressed out and worrying about other things. And
Yeah.
like just frustrated sometimes because it's like, especially if you like didn't get your done what you wanted to get done, and then you're doing something you don't really just love doing.
Right.
You're only doing it because the other person likes it. You're just frustrated the whole time.
100%.
And
Yes.
it makes it so unenjoyable for the whole experience.
I feel like we can take like sacrifices one step further. Sacrifices within ourselves, yes. But for example, like sacrifices in the sense of what if there's someone out there, Jake, like what would you tell someone, like, or like we can even explain how we handle like this situation of like holidays within our families. How, like, what if someone's listening is like, you know what, like my boyfriend only wants me to go to like his family, and then when I'm like try and offer like a different route, he just shuts it down and he'll never come to mine. Like what would you say to them?
Well, I feel like that's something that's very serious, so you probably have to like preface the conversation and like can't just be like, oh, could we go here maybe, and then like, because if you just like don't make it like much of like put much effort into it or make it much of a big deal, the person's not gonna like see that it means a lot to you. So you kind of have to express your feelings in that, and then it kind of just depends like whatever like stage you are in your relationship, like if you're married or whatever together, like sometimes, and where the families are they live, like sometimes it's really easy, the families live close, so you can do both for that holiday, like because they're so close, they're just driving distance, you go half there. But sometimes it's like they're so far apart, so you got to do 1 year there, 1 year there, and switch it off. And I feel like if you don't have like some sort of
pattern rhythm,
like it's just not gonna feel equal.
Yeah.
It will make one of the people in the relationship not feel like totally equal.
Yeah, like how Jake and I handle like holidays is like we'll do half and half all the time.
Yeah, just go like one half of the day to one and then one half to the other.
Right.
And it kind of usually works out like this. Somebody's earlier than like sometimes earlier than this. It usually works out good. And
then there's times,
and it works out good.
Right. And then
kind of makes it better too, because you know during the family gatherings there's just a lot of downtime where you just do nothing.
Your family gathering.
All family gathering. Well, maybe it's just mine, but there's just a lot of downtime, so it works perfect. You kind of just get the best of both.
No, with a 4-year-old toddler, there's not much at my family gatherings.
Well, yeah. Sure.
But yeah, no, like,
well,
if I don't know, like if Jake and I are both hosting our Christmases or Christmas Eve dinners, like we'll go maybe help out to cook with one of our families and then come for the beginning and then leave to go to the other one, you know? So we always try and make it work, and it's never like your family over mine or my family over yours. We really try and balance that out.
Yeah, I think it can also be like just like helped with just hanging out with the families just like in general outside of the holidays.
Yeah.
So then it doesn't feel like, well, we're always hanging out with your family. Like now can we just finally this one day just stay the whole time here?
Right.
Like it's kind of like that. Just like if you just hang out with the families other times, like
right.
family dinners here and there and just hanging out, it just like kind of balances out. It's like what it doesn't really matter that we're splitting time. Like we always hang out.
Right.
It's not a big deal.
But we have struggled with, I feel like not being able to like split the family time, like my family and your family, like before. But I feel
I feel like it's so different now though.
Yeah, 100%. So we get that. We've been there.
Yeah, it's
I feel like
it's hard to balance.
I feel like I always tell people this who are getting in relationships. I always tell them, you know what? Like I think Jake and I have like bickered or butt heads or have talked about everything under the sun, like from what color the sky is, if he thinks it's a dark blue and I think it's a light blue, or like from a really deep intellectual heart to heart hard conversation. Like a couple will tell me something, or like my friend will tell me something who's in a relationship, and I'm like, been there, done that. Yep, I get you. I feel like we just like we've experienced so much and been through so much. Like I feel like I don't know there's one thing we haven't been through besides a breakup.
Yeah, we have a lot of experience in relationships for how young we are.
I know, but we're in our 20s, babe. We're in our new era of life.
We're still really young.
No, babe, we're in our 20s.
Well, I'm just saying, there's not a lot of people that are 20 years old that have been dating the same person for 5.5 years.
And you're my first and only kiss.
Yeah, I know. There's like we have a lot of
boyfriend.
different things that people like haven't like what's like the word gone through, experienced.
Yeah.
That was the word I was looking for.
But they've probably also done some stuff we have never experienced either.
Yeah. But we have good knowledge on this aspect.
Yeah, that's facts.
We're not claiming to not have knowledge on the other stuff.
Like dating.
We're just talking about like the stuff that we know about.
Yeah. But yeah, we're just wanting to talk about just sacrifices within ourselves and how we no longer are sacrificing all of me or all of you, or how sometimes, you know what, Jake, it's not always an equal balance. Some days, maybe one day during this trip, you're going to wake up early for me. Or maybe one day throughout this trip, I'm going to sit and watch 3 Survivor episodes with you.
Really? Really?
You never know.
I'm pretty sure I know that's not happening.
Or watch a movie. I will. We have plans to watch a movie.
Well,
anyway.
You suggested it.
I guess it's a Jesus Revolution movie, but totally besides the point. But like, I'm just saying, like, I sacrifice some things. Some days you'll sacrifice some things some days, but it never feels like anymore, at least. It never feels like it's all of me or it's all of you or, you know, anything like that at all.
No, yeah, I think it's...
Unless you want to tell me different.
No.
And I just am so
No, I think
oblivious.
We've gone through so much time, so it's like figured itself out.
Yeah. I think the best piece of advice, like if you're long distance or if you're even in college together or in high school together, whatever, married, whatever, it's like you do you, I do me. And that used to actually really scare me. That used to really scare me because I was like, no, but like I need to be with him all the time. Like I just want to like spend every breathing moment and I need to be talking to him all the time. It took me having to just like let go of that control of being like, no, but like we all need to be our own people here. And so you do you get all of your stuff done. You do whatever you need to do to make Jakey Boo Boo happy. I'll do everything I need to do to make me happy and get all my things done so that the moments that we do share and that we do have together, it's like so real and so present.
Yeah. I think this was something that we struggled with like a lot longer than most people would too.
All throughout high school.
Yeah. I think it's like a younger couple thing, like first relationship thing too.
Yeah.
So we definitely struggled with it more than other people, so we know a decent amount about it.
Yeah.
But we worked through it.
We worked through it. And then, yeah, we're going to play a game of couples. We're not really strangers because that's just my favorite thing. And that's what we always have to end with whenever we do it, Jake. Couples, we're not really strangers.
Whoa.
My favorite thing in the whole wide world.
Be careful.
To do with my favorite Jakey Bakey. Okay.
This is a podcast, not a song.
This is my podcast, so it's my rules. Thank you, house rules. Okay. Okay. If our first kiss was a song, what would it be called?
I don't know.
I would call it Nervous Nancy. What would you call it? Come up with one.
It's a good one. I don't know.
Tell me.
I don't know. I'm not good at this. That's a good one. I like yours.
Babe.
Oh, I'm serious. I don't have an answer to this one.
Angel game? Something. Like, I can think of 100.
Well, nothing.
Are you serious?
I can't think of
Magic. Something.
I can't think of anything. Sure, we'll go with the magic. We'll go with that one.
No, whatever.
I can't.
Whatever.
I'm not good at these.
That is so terrible. What do I dislike that most people love?
Cheese.
Oh. What do you dislike?
And TV.
Yeah, that's facts.
And relaxing.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Well, I mean, what?
What do you
Why is that a bad thing?
Dude, chill. What do you dislike that most people love? You dislike ranch, ketchup. You dislike like getting dirty.
People don't like
I do. Like, I don't mind playing in the mud.
I don't think people like getting dirty.
What would I most likely be fired for?
What would you most likely be fired for?
Technically, I did get written up, but
for being too nice.
for saying I'm tired. You would most likely be fired for sleeping in like your work.
Well, I'm on time. If I have to be. You act like I wake up so late, like 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. is not late.
Last week you literally...
I was sick.
Okay, I knew you were going to say that.
I was sick.
1 o'clock, people. Anyway.
I didn't fall asleep till 3 a.m.
It doesn't matter. Besides, we don't need to bring this on the pod. We don't need to bring the baggage on the pod.
Well, you're trying to claim things that aren't true.
It was, what do I think? Not what Jake thinks. What does Kyia think?
What does the world think? That I'm right.
So, okay. What did our worst argument teach you?
Well, I don't know what our worst argument is, but I would say just arguing in general would just be like, you don't want to like steep too low during the argument. You don't want to like, sometimes I built up my anger and then I just let it all out and I say really mean things. So that's something.
Really mean, yes.
Okay, you don't need to add something to everything. Jeez. Just like, don't say those things ever.
It taught me that we can get through anything. I don't even remember what our worst argument is, but I remember just being in an arguing season and it just being, you know.
Arguing taught me something bad about me, but for you, it didn't teach you anything bad about you. Because you're perfect.
Thank you for noticing that. I appreciate that. Thank you. I thought mine was really sweet. And you're just being plain rude.
I just self-reflected. You're just like,
whatever.
You know what?
What's the most romantic thing I've done for you recently?
You got me in and out.
I was gonna say that.
What about me?
You sent me flowers to the wrong house.
I also surprised you home. It came home 2 days early.
But it says most recent.
I mean, I was just thinking of anything.
I was thinking of recently.
I'm sorry you were house sitting. I sent him to your real house.
Okay.
I don't know
what can we laugh at now that once felt so daunting in our relationship?
Probably making sacrifices. Like we would like make so many sacrifices for ourselves, and then we would just be like, wouldn't be as happy, but now we can just laugh about it. It's like,
yeah, sure, I agree.
What?
I'm just gonna pass on that answer.
What do you mean?
I don't want to share.
What? Are you good?
Next. Thank you for helping me realize blank about myself.
That I like.
Thank you. Say it.
Wait, what's it? Say it again. I can't remember all that. Thank you for helping me realize, that I don't like to. Well, mine's not like doesn't fit this really, but I don't like to like get outside my comfort zone. And you do a good job of
that. You're comfortable being comfortable.
Yeah, you help me get out of my comfort zone.
Thank you for helping me realize.
You see, it's hard to fit it in that thing.
No, thank you for helping me realize.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense.
Thank you for helping me realize.
No, you don't need to keep trying to fit it in.
I'm gonna show you.
It's a one-word thing.
Thank you for helping me realize.
Just
true love about myself.
What?
I don't know.
That's what?
What's one thing you'll do differently during our next argument?
Not just say all those mean things.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you gonna self-reflect?
No, I think next time during an argument I'm gonna be more patient, and I am going to be more just more patient and more open. More open.
That'd be good.
The end.
Nice.
I still want you to get back to me about what our first kiss song would be, but
I don't know.
Can we tell our first kiss story?
No.
Why?
I don't want to.
Really? I feel like it's 5 years ago, babe.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So
I don't really.
Basically what happened was my sister and her boyfriend at the time and Jake and I went to an Angels game and we went on a cutie little double date. And then Jake came over afterwards and we were watching a movie. And I was just laying on his chest. Like, I was just so innocent. Like, we were, like, so young. And all of a sudden his heart's, like, starts beating so fast. And I'm like, I asked him, like, are you okay? Like, are we good? Like, are you good? And I just didn't even think anything of it. Like, I wasn't expecting anything. And then it was really sweet what Jake did. It was really sweet. He looks at me and he goes, what would you do if I kissed you right now? And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm like about to be a freshman in high school. Like, I don't know what a kiss is. Like, I don't know. Like, and I was like, I don't know. And then he just kissed me, and it was like a really sweet, special kiss. I'll never forget it.
Thanks, bub.
I think you're embarrassed of it, but I would never change a thing about it. I think it was perfect.
Thanks, Kai.
Anyway, that's all for today's episode. I love you guys so very much. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and hopping on the pod with me, Mr. Jake, right after a flight. Thank you. So sweet. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm going to miss you on my trip.
You don't leave for so long.
Don't say that.
Well,
anyway, anything you want to say?
Thanks for having me on.
That's it.
I had fun.
I love you.
I love you too.
Alrighty. Ta-ta for now. Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.